Hello, we are on air. We're just waiting a little bit so that the audience, the attendees can get on. Just hold on a minute or so. Yes, I think we are starting. So, hello, welcome everybody. Happy International Women's Day 2023. My name is Bente Lilja Bye, and I'm very happy to be your host in this webinar, where we will learn a lot about Earth observations, women's contributions to digitalization, to innovation and technology, for gender equality. I have this lovely panel with me today, coming from all corners of the world, representing AfriGEO, AmeriGEO, AOGEO, which is Asia and Oceania Geo, and EuroGEO. And so you will see how wide and diverse Earth observation can be used, both geographically and on subject, but there will be a red thread through this storytelling, and that is some sort of disasters that we are addressing collectively. So with me today, I will introduce the panel. We have Alba from Spain. Hello, Alba. And we have Amber from the US. Hello, Amber. Hi, and we have Juveline from Cameroon. Hi, and we have Yiling from China and Unitar, yes. And I am from Norway, so we are spread all over. We have a little bit of housekeeping first. We will go through these interesting stories. We will learn about these interesting stories. And while or in between, we will have some very short polls that we encourage you to participate in. They are super simple, but interesting and maybe entertaining. And then if you have questions or have comments, please do that in the chat. You find the chat on the right side. And if you want to ask questions at the end, after all these interesting stories, we will have the opportunity also to discuss among ourselves. And so you are invited. If you have the right technology set up, you might be invited on the stage, given the microphone and the camera. I have to invite you, so you have to raise your hand as an attendee. And then we will see if we can introduce you to the stage and let you both comment and ask questions. So with that, I think we are ready to start. Just a quick reminder of the program. We start to learn something about the in situ showcases in Europe, supporting climate and environmental monitoring. Then we will see how leveraging national geos can empower communities across the Americas. And then we are looking at restoring our Earth, some ideas on restoring our Earth, digital technology to end waste pollution. And last but not least, towards the night, we have a young lady at the frontiers that will observe the world at night. And we will, through all of these stories, will be covering both slow and fast disasters addressed by Earth observations. So with that, Alba, the floor is yours. We are excited to learn about that.
Thank you, Bente. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, can you say a few words about yourself also, so that we learn a little bit about you?
Yes, of course. So, yeah. So I'm Alba. My name is Alba Brobia from CREAF, the Research Center in Ecology and Forestry Applications based in Barcelona, Spain. And I am working in GRUMET's research group. And I am involved in different European projects, which one of these is InCase, that actually in a few seconds I am going to show you what is this project about. And my fields of expertise are the GIS and remote sensing. And also in the context of these projects, we are also, on behalf of CREAF, I am also contributing to the group on Earth observations in several activities, such as the data working group, as well the in situ subgroup. And I am also contributing to the Copernicus European Initiative with focus on in situ data sharing, availability and reusability as a major global challenge for all thematic domains. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Yes. So let's hear it.
Okay. Now, yeah, I am trying to share my screen. Okay. This is done. Then, okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can, Alba.
Yeah, okay. So, hello, and thank you very much, Bente, for inviting me to this webinar. And so, yeah, I'm going to present InCase project, which is an acronym of In Situ Showcases Supporting Climate and Environmental Monitoring in Europe. Yeah, this is my bio. I already said a few words about me, so I think that we can skip this slide. Yeah, so here we are. So InCase is a project funded by the European Commission in support to the European Environmental Agency and in contribution to EuroGEO. In case, we work in three main pillars or packages. The first one focus on improving the value of sharing GEO's data through the participation in the GeoData Working Group and the in situ subgroup. Then the second pillar focus on collecting interoperability and quality requirements for in situ data. And then the third one pillar, we are showcasing standard processes in order to facilitate the reusability of data, focusing on climate and biodiversity domains. And in case, we are a consortium of 4 partners formed by Evenflow, the National Observatory of Athens, CREAF Research Center, and the Open Geospatial Consortium. So, in case, we are showcasing in situ data as said by looking at data sets on losses and damage by weather and climate extremes. We are looking also at data sets in support to climate adaptation policy objectives, mainly in Europe. Then we also are looking for data sets on habitat and vegetation distribution in support to the ecosystem assessment and accounting in Europe. And the semantic interoperability in this area of habitats and biodiversity is enabled by EUNIS, the European Nature Information System vocabularies. Then, on the other hand, in case we are promoting also the geodata sharing and management principles, and we contributed in the revised guidelines to update references to the OGC standards, and we are also participated in the GEO dialogue series. to show how the AOGC standards are used to implement the principles in practice. So many different activities. Then the ongoing developments in InCase. So in InCase, we are one of the goals of InCase is to collect information on in situ Earth observation data quality requirements coming from the showcases, but also from the activities and initiatives in the group on Earth observations. In that context, we have developed a geospatial in situ requirements database model, AmeriGEO, that is called the GREX. And the GREX allows the collection of standardized and quality checked in situ Earth observation data user requirements. Then, based on user requirements, GREX also provides a mechanism to define product requirements, defined by metadata parameters that future potential datasets measuring the essential variables should fulfill in terms of spatial and temporal details. And then the UML diagram on the right side represents the requirements data model that we have implemented so far. And you have here the link where you can find also more information about this work. Then in case we are also looking to contribute, of course, to the AOGC standardization, to the standardization of geospatial data. And as a contribution in this area, the GREX model, we thought that may become maybe a new AOGC standard, as there is no AOGC standard to describe data requirements at this moment. So in order to cover this gap, we consider two alternatives. The first one, actually, to create a new metadata standard. In this sense, we are planning to write a discussion paper in order to start the process. And also, in other hand, we are also exploring the possibility to implement the data requirements in the existing geospatial user feedback standard or in AOGC. Then, on the other hand, we also plan to include the essential variables, vocabularies, and ontologies in the AOGC definition server, making so the concepts standard and also fair. And then to finish, so yeah, in case we work with several policy frameworks and initiatives and looking to the new data spaces. On one hand, in case the in situ data harmonization that we are willing to provide is a contribution to the Green Deal data space composed by in situ data, socioeconomic data, Internet of Things, citizen science, and a very heterogeneous data. And then, on the other hand, the in situ data on climate adaptation that we are collecting in the showcases is also a contribution to the digital twin on climate change adaptation in the context of the Destination Earth initiative. And I think that it's all from my side, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alba. I think it becomes clear that digitalization is ever so important, also to address climate change and environmental issues, and making all of these in situ, so ground-based data, is quite a challenge in itself. And thank you for the work that you are doing and giving us this nice overview of part of what we do in GEO. So thank you. Do you have any questions or add-on? Yeah, Alba, you wanted to add something?
No. From my side, I think that, yeah, it's done.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Thank you, Bente.
Thank you. You can unshare. I think you have to unshare your,
Yes.
your screen. And by the way, so this webinar, as you will understand, is celebrating International Women's Day, and it's it's organized by the subgroup on equality, diversity, and inclusion in GEO. So I forgot to say that, but this is something that we are in GEO. We are working very hard on addressing these issues that we want to celebrate today, where we are discussing specifically the gender issue. Okay, thank you, Alba. Then next up, we are going over to another continent, over the Atlantic, to the Americas. Let me see. Yeah, Amber, can you first introduce yourself a little bit, and then we are eager to learn what you are doing in the Americas.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bente. My name is Amber Kremer. I currently live in Cusco, Peru, in the Andes Mountains here in South America, but I am from Portland, Oregon originally. And I work as a student contractor for the Office of International Programs for the US Geological Survey. I actually just finished my graduate program. And I also support the AmeriGEO secretariats with a lot of those responsibilities as well. So much of what I have to present today comes from my experience with AmeriGEO in the secretariat. So if it's okay, I'll just share my screen.
Yes, and we will close our cameras and microphones, so you have the floor totally alone.
Okay, and I hope you can all see my presentation.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again, Bente, for inviting me to this discussion today. It's an honor to be representing AmeriGEO, which is the region of GEO for the American continents, and to discuss how our organization is leveraging national GEOs to empower communities across the Americas, especially on this important day celebrating women internationally. So over the years, our region has been noted for gender equality across our organization, our projects, our national GEOs. Our AmeriGEO Coordination Working Group takes on a special role of fostering gender equality across many of the GEO activities. We have several thematic initiatives in the region, such as GeoGlam, GeoGlows, EO for Health, GeoPathways, COSTA, and these are all programs that are led or co-led by women. There are efforts to make sure that gender equality exists among the GEO principles and the alternates. And so in the example of Costa Rica, Paraguay, Mexico, Colombia. And so one of the reasons we've been successful in fostering equity, diversity and inclusion is that AmeriGEO takes on an integral approach to our regional initiatives and capacity development, especially from the context of political, environmental, social, and cultural perspectives. So in this way, we're empowering communities and the diverse stakeholder groups in our region to really get involved in our activities. We have national GEOs that are working together with the AmeriGEO community to build capacity and just better serve our citizens and our society. And we're leveraging national GEOs and networks to increase EDI and engagement among communities and stakeholders. So I wanted to briefly touch on a few of our kind of flagship activities that we have currently going on in our region. And the first one would be the Peru Mapathon. So this is a virtual event that began in 2021. It's led by CNIDA, which is Peru's space agency, along with other Peruvian ministries. So here you can see a dashboard from our 2021 event. We brought in over 600 participants for that event, even more for our 2022 event last year. And there's a focus on mapping high-risk areas for natural disasters in Peru, and developing tools and technologies to streamline a natural disaster response. So one of the important takeaways from this event is that we were actually able to break many barriers to access to opportunities. Here in Peru, it's a very capital-centric country. A lot of the opportunities are in Lima, in the capital city. So with this virtual format, participants of all ages, skill levels, education, geographic distribution, we had participants from here in the mountains all the way down to, the jungle, to the deserts, to the big cities that are all bringing their ideas and their skills to the table to highlight natural disaster issues that are unique to their communities. And this event really provided solutions to Peru's most pervasive issues related to natural disasters affecting some of the most vulnerable communities, while also simultaneously building capacity through open workshops and trainings that were provided during the event. Next, we'll move on to our GeoPathways Americas program. There are 23 participating members from across mostly from Latin America and the Caribbean. And so this is in addition to 60 young professionals that we have based in the United States. We have GeoPathways Latin America members from winning teams from the previous mapathons from previous years. And the goal with this group of young professionals is to help them build networks and relationships with national GEOs, with their national ministries and professionals in their field. So some of the activities that we offer with GeoPathways is student project development for university internship credits, as well as master theses that are being developed under an AmeriGEO sponsorship. We have many student-led courses in GIS and imagery analysis. We have several working groups and collaborations with government agencies here in Peru and beyond, as well as collaborations with national GEOs to build tools and leverage citizen science as a means to engage local communities. So I want to highlight this specific tool that was built by our Peru GeoPathway students during last year's Ventania oil spill, which happened just north of Lima. And it was essentially meant to gather geolocated information from the public regarding oil spill sightings, affected wildlife sightings, and things of that nature. So here you can see just a few kind of screen captures of some of the information that we were able to gather from the feedback that the public provided us through the tool. All right, so moving on to our next project or our next program or initiative in AmeriGEO, we have the GEOS Academy of Geosciences and Applications. So this is an AmeriGEO initiative that's being built in collaboration with the GEO Secretariats and with the support of our GeoPathway students as well. So just to quickly describe why this is important for our region, if any of you here today were to search the internet for courses and trainings that are relevant to your field of study, you would come across, no doubt, several courses that are offered through various institutions, but you would probably come across certain barriers, such as language availability, or potentially the course has little relevance to your specific region or your community. So the question is, how can we leverage all of these valuable courses that exist and customize them to the unique needs of our user base? So how could we take a course that was developed on oil spill detection for Peru in the Spanish language and make it relevant to somebody who is in the Caribbean community? So through the academy, we are able to take some of the static content that's available and just make it relevant and openly accessible to the wider community. So we'll move on to, this is just another slide just showing that we also have the courses available on a mobile version. So either on a desktop or mobile, our users are able to access the courses. So we'll move on to AmeriGEO Week as our next activity or initiative. This is our annual event that took place in Asunción, Paraguay last year. And this was our very first hybrid virtual on-site format. And this year it's taking place in San Jose, Costa Rica. And so this event serves as a catalyst for multidisciplinary collaboration, stakeholders from academia, scientists, decision makers, indigenous communities, and it brings these communities together to identify synergies and paths towards collaboration amongst national GEOs and other regional efforts and partners. The event offers networking and training opportunities, especially for the local academic institutions and universities and others through event workshops and side events. And most importantly, it's an opportunity for the national GEOs that are hosting the events in their country to highlight priorities that are unique to their country or their region and engage local stakeholders with the broader AmeriGEO community. So this is just a screenshot of our registration dashboard from last year's event in Asunción. So you can see that we had registrants from all across the planet, not just from the Americas. So just to mention, we worked very closely with Paraguay's National GEO and the Paraguayan Space Agency to build the infrastructure for this event's very first hybrid format, which was a big achievement because, it allowed for a much more inclusive participation style, both on site and through our virtual platform, both with simultaneous translation options. So I just want to quickly mention this is a great segue to our LACI initiative. Last year in Asunción, we were able to have the opportunity to bring together stakeholders from the LACI initiative from across the Americas, both in person and virtually, for a partnership building workshop. And so I just want to briefly describe what LACI is, as it's another important initiative that AmeriGEO is involved in. This initiative provides opportunities for partnerships and peer-to-peer learning between the Caribbean, Latin American, and North American countries to enhance climate risk and vulnerability assessments. So at our latest AmeriGEO Week event, during our workshop, we were able to bring this group together and outline the shared vision to identify countries' needs and priorities in the region, to share existing capacities and outline the next steps forward. So we're currently in phase 2 of the project, where we're moving forward with pilot concepts. So, and I know I'm running out of time here, so I just want to briefly wrap up with some other regional initiatives that we have currently in the region. So one of them is the Servir Amazonia and GeoGLOS collaboration. So thanks to the efforts of Servir Amazonia, GeoGLOS has been implemented in 4 countries in South America, contributing to the progress of national adaptation plans. And so these countries are Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, and Brazil. And in response to the priorities that these countries have identified in their adaptation plans related to the development and transfer of technology to strengthen early warning systems against climate risks. And then the last program is COSTA. So this initial effort and the experience during the Peru oil spill last year were fundamental for a coordinated effort between NOAA in the United States and AmeriGEO to improve regional capacity for oil spill surveillance through the Collaboration for Oil Satellite Tracking in the Americas, COSTA. So the program was launched during our AmeriGEO Week 2022 in Paraguay. And to date, Peru, Mexico, and Trinidad and Tobago have implemented operational programs to monitor oil spills 24/7, and Colombia is currently participating in some training activities. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much again for including me today. It's been an honor to talk about the different ways that AmeriGEO is kind of growing and evolving and leveraging those national GEOs as a catalyst to better serve a wider range of stakeholders and communities in our region through our various initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you very much. That's quite a bit of activity over there, I have to say. And just a quick question for you, because you were mentioning the Mapathon, and then you had some citizen science activities, for instance, the oil spill. Did you capture the participation by girls and women in these? Were there any differences, or did you at all observe?
I don't think we included that in the survey. It was very, kind of pointed questions. But that's a great point that I think would be really interesting to include, especially if we have, similar tools that we develop in the future, just so that maybe later we can do some analytics and see what the user base looks like. But no, we didn't.
No, because the reason I'm asking is that we are, digitalization. So a lot of what we are doing with Earth observation is digital, and using an app, the competence on using apps and even being a part of a hackathon. How do women identify with this is a thing for me, right? To be able to train them. That will be interesting to see.
we had a great participation with women, almost 50%. I would say about 40% of our participants in the mapathons were women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mostly from Peru.
That's great. Okay. So thank you very much, Amber. Now, before we move on to traveling all the way over the Atlantic again to Africa, I wanted you to the speakers, please, you can provide some links. It's easier if you provide links actually in the chat, because then they can click on it rather than wait until they get the presentation sent. So please feel free to populate the chat with links that you think the audience could benefit from. Juveline, welcome to you as well. And before we start your presentation, it would be nice to learn a little bit about who you are. You are representing the private sector here in this group. So let's hear a little bit about you before you start to present your project.
Of course, thank you so much, Bente, for this opportunity. And my name is Juveline Ngum. I am the CEO and co-founder of BleagLee. BleagLee is a waste management company that is providing using digital technology to quickly inspect the Earth's surface, identify poor waste disposal. And we are currently the Climate Tech Global Award winners at COP27 in Egypt for our solution. So our solution is currently based in Cameroon, but we have other country offices in Senegal. So I'm going to quickly share my slide.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can you confirm if you can see?
We see it. Yes, we see it. All good.
Okay, so I'm going to start my presentation by asking a question. Is there anything more important in the planet now than saving this planet Earth? And like I said before, I'm the CEO and co-founder of BleagLee, and at the age of 12, I experienced respiratory issues caused by smoke pollution from waste burning. Around the world, 2.1 billion tons of waste are produced each year. Most of it gets burned in the open fields. Like 68% of waste we find is burned in the open field. Farmers are burning their agricultural waste or straw. Industries are burning their waste output. And households are not left behind from burning of waste in open fields or in their backyards. The burning of waste releases toxic emissions such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and black carbon, which are the greatest contributors to global warming and climate change. Burning of waste doesn't only contribute to global warming and climate change, it also contributes to drought. That means drying the surface of the earth. We also have a larger portion of poor waste disposal, which is ending up in drainage channels and clogging the drains, leading to flooding. So BleagLee is the solution. We are providing software for drones to quickly inspect poor waste disposal and waste burning points on physical sites all around Cameroon. And then we use our platform for market making of unutilized waste, connecting individual owners of waste, farmers, households, and recycling companies. Moreover, satellite imagery shows the amount of waste collected instead of getting burned and the resultant carbon impact. We are also using GPS technology for route optimization of waste truck to reduce fuel consumption of the waste trucks. Looking at our products or services, we have the AI software or the artificial intelligence software for drones to quickly inspect waste burning points and other poor waste disposal hotspots. The satellite imagery is showing the amount of waste collected instead of getting burnt and the resultant carbon impact. So the waste collected from the field instead of burnt is then sold to recycling companies such as large waste to energy plants. So we are helping farmers, individual owners of waste, and others who have unutilized waste to sell their waste through our digital platform for an income. And we see that most of them are having 30% increased income, especially the farmers. What is unique about our solution is that our solution reduces the logistic costs of waste truck drivers moving for hours in search of waste. Instead of working for hours, they use our software for drones can quickly detect large surface areas in less than few hours or minutes. Our value proposition includes that we are reducing carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur and black carbon from escaping into the atmosphere. And we're also providing a market for unutilized waste materials that would be burned. Our data also provides toxic data. Our software also provides data on toxic mineral content and their provenance levels. Like I said earlier, thanks to our value proposition awards and benefits, we received the Climate Tech Global Award winner at COP27 in Egypt for our climate solution, and we were also the AOGEO Digital Award winner from the government of France in 2021. Looking at our business model is normally a B2B. That means farmers who have agricultural straw or waste, the industries, the individual owners of waste who otherwise would have burnt their waste, they can now sell their waste through our digital platform. Moreover, the data from our software can be shared with governments, city councils, and municipalities to help them better educate communities about the benefits of proper waste disposal. It also helps them to know where to place trash cans and how to schedule site cleaning. Looking at our results and next steps, we're a business that is having increasing traction, and we hope to expand in the few years to come to other African countries. We have saved up to 81.14 million kilograms of carbon dioxide, prevented over 9,000 tons of waste from being burned. We have employed 19 permanent and 302 temporal workers, mostly young people who work with us to collect waste and receive increased income. We are also saving land and forests from being burned, because the global environmental organization says that most of the wildfires are caused by open waste burning. And like I said before, most farmers, individual owners of waste, are getting increased incomes through trading their waste on our platform. Our team is made up of strong leaders in climate change, software engineering, technology, innovation, digital economy, and research. I would say 70% of us are women with strong industry experience. So now I know I told you a whole bunch of things, but please never forget this. Every problem upon our planet begins with a global emissions issue. That is why transforming our strategies for providing solid waste management strategies to reduce waste pollution and waste burning is the only way we all have to make the world a better place. And you can find our contacts on the screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Juveline. That's quite impressive also to see what you achieved as a private initiative like that. That's very impressive, and congratulations with the COP27 prize.
Thank you.
What, if I'm not mistaken, did you say that people got paid to come with their garbage?
Yeah, exactly. Those when our software identifies the waste burning points, yeah, the owners of the waste, like the farmers who are burning their agricultural waste, we contact them and they can sell their waste through our digital platform to recycling companies.
This sounds very logical to me, but your example shows how diverse the solutions around the planet needs to be, because I can tell you that in Norway we have to pay to get rid of our garbage. And then we are thinking, and some of us are commenting, why do we even have to pay? It could have been for free at least, because the garbage is being reused. Yeah. I guess that's the business model, right? That it's being reused.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I think it's a little bit different here, because what we are trying to do is to provide additional incomes for these individual owners of waste. It's a way to change consumer behaviors, to motivate them to recycle more or to reduce their waste burning. Yeah.
But then the waste is actually being used, I assume. Yes.
Yeah, by the large energy plants who convert waste into energy.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be possible to have business models where you, in this case, sounds like there's a win-win-win even. If you add the behavior. Yeah. Yeah. And the women are deeply involved, not only you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Great. I tried to publish, just FYI to the audience here, I tried to publish some of these polls, but the text was a little bit too long. So I will encourage you. So Juveline, you had a questions that you can ask them here, and then people can write answers in the chat if they feel like it. I don't know if you remember what you were asking. I can repeat it for you. You wanted to ask, what is your most frequently used method of reducing your waste to prevent pollution? And you just heard mine. We have to. We definitely have to, drive and submit our waste ourselves, or pay to get it picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and this is a bit of a mystery, since we are talking about this. Water bottles, or bottles like this, plastic bottles of various kinds. In Norway, we get we get money for recycling these bottles. So I think more than between 90 and 100, not quite 100%, but a lot of the bottles are actually going into being recycled.
Okay.
And then I think we were discussing it again back to culture, and what you are doing is training also a little bit the culture, as the behavior. I think you really need to see the culture at hand. I think it's possible to do this in Scandinavia, but maybe not everywhere, or at least it takes a lot of behavior training before that can be.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. A lot of, let me say, creating environmental stewards through training them, changing their behaviors for environmental sustainability.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Juveline. Thank you so much. Then we are coming to the last but not the least speaker. We are going to China, actually, to Yilin. But Yilin, you are working in Europe also, but you are from Wuhan, and I'll let you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself before we move towards the night.
Okay, thank you. And I prefer to introduce myself by my PowerPoint. So can I share my screen first? Yes, actually in the PowerPoint, I include my self-introduction. So let me share my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so here. Okay, can you see it? Oh, sorry.
It's coming, and if you have presentation mode on top.
Okay, turn the mode. Hello, nice to meet you all. Let's start. Yeah, it's really to be a meaningful experience to be sit down here with such a diverse group and talk the topic today about the observations of the world at night, especially on this special day. Okay, I'm Gong Yu. Yeah. And today my presentation can be divided into these 4 parts. First, about me, and also my serendipitous meet with GEO and UNOSAT, and also some cheerful words. Okay, about me, yeah, of course, my self-introduction. Yeah, actually, I'm still the first year of my master degree. Yeah, and I'm majored in photogrammetry and remote sensing in Wuhan University. And actually, from the last year of my undergraduate, I began to do some research on nighttime light remote sensing applications, like the evaluation of the China aid projects, especially in Central Asia and South Africa. And now, luckily, I'm intern in UNOSAT. My supervisor is Samir, and we are in the disaster risk management and climate resilience section. We are working with rapid mapping and also the digital nighttime light data. Yeah, that's about me. Yeah, and let's come to my meet with GEO. Yeah, I'm the member of China GEO and I'm the member of the GEO Pilot Initiative Nighttime Light Remote Sensing for Sustainable Development Goals team. And our project aims to support the SDG targets using the digital nighttime light products and their analysis. And the table shows part of our targets and the related digital products. And these things are what I have done and what I'm doing right now. Yeah, like the China Aid project evaluation and the disaster assessment and something like that. Yes, maybe now you are still curious about what nighttime light look like. Yeah, I gave you a map. Yeah, this is a global nighttime map from the DMSP satellite. Yeah, you can see different regions with different brightness. Yeah, more or less from the name, you may know that nighttime tries to observe the visible light at night, which can provide a unique perspective of our human activities and the socio-economic dynamics. And until now, many research have found that we can use nighttime light to analyze the SDG development goals. Yeah. And let's go to some detailed cases in UNOSAT. You know, I'm in the disaster risk management and climate resilience section. We are trying to monitor the disasters, and just a few days ago, I helped to finish the light loss assessment in Turkey and Syria following the earthquakes. Yeah. And this report is included in the International Chart products. These two pictures are from the website screenshots. And please allow me to make a thorough introduction to how we use the digital nightlight to assess the disaster. Yeah, of course, this is the cover of the report. Before that, I'd like to make an outline of this report. Yeah, from the dates, we use both the high spatial resolution date and also the relative coarse resolution date. For the relative coarse resolution date, we use the Weaver's date. And for the high resolution, we use SDG Set 1 and the Ngwa 1 digital date. For the SDG Set 1, it's owned by Chinese Academy of Science, and its spatial resolution is about 40 meters. And for the Ngwa, it's owned by a Chinese commercial company, which is named by Origin Space. Yeah, and its spatial resolution is about 37 meters. Yeah, this is for the date. And for the region, we both analyze the whole Turkey and Syria. And also we focused on some small regions like Haiti and Yemen. Yeah. This is our outline, and let's go for details. Yeah, using the Weaver's date, we calculate the light loss percentage in some places which are prone to be hit by the disasters. Yeah, and from the results, we can observe the significant light loss in some districts, and even some places have over 90% light loss. Yeah, you can see from the figures here. And here gives the comparison, use the before and after earthquake nightlight imagery. And from these two figures, we can say some urban areas located in different provinces became darker after the earthquake, especially in these 3 points. And also for the high spatial resolution date, we also make the comparison before and after. Yeah, before we use the SDG set and after we use the Ngwa. And these data are from 2 different kinds of satellites. So our group make an intercalibration algorithm to make these 2 data comparable. Yeah, so from the comparison, we can say in Yemen, in the urban areas, lost more light than the industry areas, which are located in the northwest of this city. And in Antarctica, you can say most areas lost light, yeah, after the earthquake. And also, based on this kind of spatial data, we make the quantitative analysis of each region, loss how much the light loss percentage. Yeah, you can say different regions have different light loss percentage. And totally, based on the digital night light dates, we get our conclusions and post in the final of this report, like many urban areas located in the earthquake affected areas became darker after the earthquake, and also the power outage areas are mainly distributed along the plate junction. Of course, some detailed information in different regions like the Hatay, like the Adaraman, like the Antarctica are also listed in their summaries. And now, all in all, I think this is indeed a meaningful experience in my traineeship in UNOSAT. Yeah, for UNOSAT, after a 3 months training, I find it's indeed for Earth observation, and we try to use satellites, and we use a collaboration with universities and other organizations to support the human development. And it's an international organization which calls for gender parity, and there's equality, diversity, and inclusion. Yeah, for me as a girl, I feel very free and comfortable to finish the tasks, to find what I'm interested in, and to monitor the disasters as I can do. I think it's really meaningful and valuable for this traineeship. Yeah. And the last part, I want to introduce some interesting experience for you. About my self-experience and my life experience until now. Yeah, and I think it can be started from my high school. Yeah, I remember that 2016, I beat a 1 round and had the chance to participate in the writing contest in Peking University in China. And after about 3 years, I met my teacher, Miss Xu. It was she that taught me a lot to how to do the scientific research and how to be interested in what I'm interested in and something like that. And later 2 years, I met her teacher Lee. He greatly taught me a lot, and it's him that I started to do research on nighttime light. Yeah, and just last year, with the support of ChinaGEO and our university, I had the chance to join UNOSAT and be a trainee. And all in all, in the last few years, I think I'm surrounded by scientific research opportunities, truth, and of course, great love. Yeah, I tried my best to find my interest and finally make it. Yeah, this. In the right, I show you a picture. It's an interesting story. I feel like just in all things I have met that determined me to make up my decision to do my research on nighttime light. Yeah, this is a photo on the flight from China to Geneva. Yeah, you can see beautiful night light thing. Yeah, and last, I think I want to tell some words like we as the younger generation, we need to gather together to support the SDGs and also for Earth observations. And we should be passionate, be courageous, and be our best in this process. And for me, I think many years later, I can tell my extraordinary stories by me for my work on Earth observations, yeah, something like that. And last, thanks for all of you, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you very much. That was very inspirational and a very interesting story indeed. you have a very interesting journey already at your young age. And thank you for sharing that. That was, I think this is something that can inspire more of the youth to follow their passion, to just follow what they are interested in. And it was, when you show the picture of the nightlight on the flight,
Yeah.
and I still remember the first time I was flying, particularly in small planes. It's like a jewel. It's really very impressive. I remember that, you know, how impressed I was, how beautiful it was.
Yeah,
So,
it's beautiful and gorgeous, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you're making something very human, important, useful for humanity.
Yeah, of course, I should use what I'm interested in to support the human development and the Earth observations. Yeah, I'm trying to do that, and I hope I can make it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, you. I think that was all the presentation, and what a bouquet of interesting stories. And I cannot help be very impressed of what you all are doing. So maybe we could turn on our cameras and we can open the floor. If you raise your hand, if you want to join us and you want me to give you the microphone. Otherwise, you can ask questions. I see that Adrian, and I answered you, Adrian. Thank you for the question. Is this being recorded? Yes, indeed. This is recorded, and not only recorded the presentations, but the presentations will also be available along with the recording, so you can enjoy it in peace and quiet. It will be posted on nextgeos.eu. So one of this is a NextGEO/Geo webinar, so on the NextGEO's website. And I cannot promise, but I'm 99.9% sure that we will be able to make also this available on the Geo Knowledge Hub. And we will see what else we can do with it. I'm all about free and open and sharing as much as possible. So I will do my best to share and to encourage the sharing of this material. So girls, women, let's turn on our camera and take a screenshot at least while we are waiting for for some more questions perhaps. And smile to the camera. I'm thanking several. So do you have any additional comments and questions to each other? I mean, while we are waiting for the chat. Just start speaking if you have something.
I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you. It was wonderful listening to all of your stories and your projects. So thank you. Thank you for including me, Bente.
Oh, well, it's been nothing but fun.
So I just want to say congratulations to everyone. Yeah, and I think I have just one question for Amber. Yeah, your solution is brilliant. So I wanted to ask if you have I saw where you noted Brazil and other European and American countries. What about Africa? Maybe now or in future with this solution?
Yeah, so with all of our initiatives, especially I think the one that you're talking about is with the GeoGlows initiative. I know that they're doing similar work in Malawi, and there's always that expectation that we'll expand to different continents. Even the GeoPathways program, you know, right now we're just GeoPathways Americas, but there is this intention that hopefully sometime in the future, you know, all of these programs can be expanded to the other continents. Definitely. So we'd love to talk with you more about that, you know, if you're ever interested in getting involved in any of these projects.
Great. Yes, I don't see any questions. So I think we have been on this webinar for almost exactly 1 hour now. Again, a happy International Women's Day, and thank you all so much for contributing to this meaningful celebration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.